Good morning. It is now my privilege to officially welcome to our 41st annual commencement exercises our very special guests, the class of 2014. You know, attending Liberty has been a tradition in our family. My brother, my sister, my son Trey, and I all graduated from Liberty. Even my mom, who never went to college in her youth, graduated from Liberty in her 50s. My son Wesley is a Liberty student now. My 14-year-old daughter Caroline is excited about coming to Liberty in a few years. I'd like for Becky, Trey, Wesley, and Caroline to stand. And Wesley's a third-year student here at Liberty. I noticed one thing that we maybe aren't teaching as well as, go ahead, I'm sorry. I found out just before I came out here, one place we might be lacking is we're not teaching these young men how to tie their ties. I had to tie Wesley's tie for him before we came out just now, but that's why I was a little late getting out here. But anyhow, last weekend, Becky and I attended the senior picnic and had the opportunity to talk to hundreds of graduating seniors. We were amazed at how many graduating couples met while studying here at Liberty, and now have another big life-changing event scheduled over the next few months. Becky and I began dating while she was a student at Liberty. I was 5 years older, already in law school at the time. But my son Trey will be marrying Sarah Craig, a Liberty junior, 2 weeks from today. And we even met a couple at the picnic, Jonathan Schmidt and Christina Phillips, who are getting married because I tore Jonathan's dorm down. In the fall of 2013, John lived in dorm 4. We had to demolish that dorm sooner than planned to make way for the new high-rise dorm that's now nearing completion. So John moved to the Quality Inn, a local hotel serving as a temporary dorm for LU. And John emailed me yesterday saying, I was only there for a week or so before I took notice of Christina, who was living next door at the Annex. I only saw her about 5 times in between my commutes from the Annex to the Quality Inn, but by April 7th, I had seen enough. She worked at the front desk, and I finally mustered up the confidence to approach her very nervously. We exchanged a friendly hi to each other before we talked for a few minutes. We exchanged phone numbers and been together now for a year, and it has been the biggest blessing to our lives. It's amazing how God works in such unusual ways. He said, I'm so grateful, even though at first notice of Dorm 4 being torn down, it was discouraging news. I'm so grateful that Liberty is making so much progress because it ultimately is how I met the love of my life. So could all the graduates who met your spouses or future spouses here at Liberty please stand? I know there's a lot of you. You know, my father used to encourage students to be sure to get a ring by spring while they were at Liberty. I'm glad to see so many of you paid attention. But now I want to just thank some folks who behind the scenes make this all possible. Lori Baker spends 6 months of every year working on this event, and everything you see here is a product of her labors. She texted this week and said that, or I guess she tweeted that, somebody compared her job to being a wedding planner, and she said, yeah, but there's 6,000 brides. So thank you, Lori. And also Charles Spence, our Senior Vice President for Construction. He worked so hard over the last weeks and months to get that tunnel open today in spite of terrible weather. And so that made it a little easier for all of you to get in and out. So thank you, Charles Spence. I also want to recognize Dr. John M. Borick, Jr. He served as Liberty's president and CEO from 1997 to 2003 and played a critical role in creating the academic and administrative infrastructure that has served Liberty so well over the last 10 years of explosive growth here. Today, John's grandson, Austin Smith, is among our graduates. So congratulations, Austin, and welcome back. John, would you please stand? Yeah. Board of Trustees member Harvey Gainey has a granddaughter, Chelsea Jordan, who's graduating. And I found out this week that Liberty University School of Law now has its first graduate who has become a judge, Will Roach II. Congratulations to Will. And finally, the Sullivan family. Amanda Sullivan graduated from Liberty in 2010, then received her master's in 2012. Her parents, Michael and Stacy Sullivan, both received their bachelor's degrees also in 2012 here from Liberty. This year, Michael and Stacy will receive their master's degrees, and Amanda's sister, Kristen, who's a missionary in South Africa, will also graduate with them today. Amanda's brother, Matthew, is about to begin his third year at Liberty, and Amanda's youngest sister, Courtney, is about to begin her freshman year at Liberty. And finally, Amanda's brother, Mikey, may soon be applying to Liberty's medical school. If we had more families like the Sullivans, recruiting students would be much less expensive. So congratulations to the Sullivans. When you look around this stadium this morning, you see thousands of friends and family members who have stood with you as you pursued your degree. Never forget that no one succeeds in life alone. There are parents and grandparents, spouses, children, and other family members and friends who are always standing behind us. These are the people who have encouraged you and prayed for you when you were ready to give up. They applauded you at every little victory. And they are here today to cheer you across the finish line. We want to recognize some of these very special people today. Would all the parents of graduates please stand? Thank you. And by the way, happy Mother's Day to all the moms here today. 3 years ago, we started a new tradition of recognizing the spouses of graduates who are often the unsung heroes behind the achievements of so many graduates. We have one proud spouse who could not be here today, but who wanted his wife to know how proud he is of her. Graduate Mallory Jade Mallory, would you please stand? I know this is a complete surprise to you, but your husband, Sergeant Mark Mallory, serving today in the U.S. Armed Forces in Afghanistan, wrote to us, he wrote to us and told us that you drove all the way from Kansas to receive your degree here today, and he told us how badly he wanted to be here, how proud he is of what you have accomplished, and he did the best he could. He sent us this video message to you all the way from Afghanistan.
Good morning, Liberty University. My name is Sergeant Mallory. I'm part of the 291st MP Company over in Afghanistan. Today I'm sending out a message to my wife, Mallory. I want to let her know how proud I am of her, how far she's come in accomplishing all her goals. Today as you walk across the stage, think about me and know that I miss you something terrible, and I love you so much, and I'll see you when I get home.
Would all the spouses of our graduates please stand to be recognized? Thank you. Finally, I would like to invite all of our graduates, the class of 2014, to please stand to be recognized as well. Thank you. Thank you. We are so proud of you and so thankful to God for your achievement. It has truly been our privilege to serve you and to be part of your lives. You have sacrificed and labored for years to make this day a reality. You have earned this great honor, and we are here to salute you today. Congratulations. You know, I've watched with pride as you welcome some of the best known and most influential leaders of our world today to Convocation. We've had everybody from Willie Robertson to Sarah Palin to even the mother of Justin Bieber here this year. And I was in Willie Robertson's office just a week or two ago, and they asked if I wanted to get a picture in his office chair, and they said the only requirement is you have to put your feet up on the desk. So I did. But one of our last speakers this year was Mr. Bo Pilgrim. He's the 85-year-old founder of Pilgrim's Pride Chicken. When he greeted our students, he had us hand out a small booklet about his faith to all 10,000 students in Convocation. But to everyone's great surprise, each booklet contained a crisp $20 bill, a gift from him to the students. Asked why he did it later, he said he had more money than he needed, and he felt most of our students probably didn't. So seniors who missed Convocation that day asked me to invite him back to Commencement. Unfortunately for them, that did not work out. But each of these speakers left here as lifelong fans and supporters of Liberty University because of the impression that you made on them. You even changed for the better how some of them view Christianity. I have to stop here to congratulate you on that, because the warm reception that this diverse group of speakers received here at Liberty this year and in past years is in stark contrast to the reception that speakers often receive at major secular universities. Universities that constantly pat themselves on the back for their commitment to diversity and inclusiveness. Just last week, former Secretary of State Dr. Condoleezza Rice canceled her scheduled commencement speech at Rutgers University because of loud and organized protests from students and faculty who did not like the fact that Dr. Rice's political views were different and more conservative than their own. USA Today reported this week that HGTV had announced a new series called Flip It Forward, planned for October, starring twins and LU graduates David and Jason Benham. The show was already in production and was being filmed when suddenly this week, quietly in a tweet, HGTV says the show will not be happening. USA Today reported that it appears that HGTV was alerted by an anti-Christian and anti-conservative watchdog group that David Benham had protested against the homosexual political agenda and against abortion at the 2012 Democratic National Convention. When I learned of this just 2 days ago, Becky suggested that I invite the Benham brothers to be my personal guests at Commencement this morning. To my surprise, they were able to make it. They're here sitting on the front row. David Benham said this week, "The first and last thought on our minds as we begin and end each day is, have we shined Christ's light today? As Christians, we are called to love our fellow man. Anyone who suggests that we hate homosexuals or people of other faiths is either misinformed or lying. Over the last decade, we've sold thousands of homes with the guiding principle of introducing value and breathing life into each family that has crossed our paths. And we do not, nor will we ever discriminate against people who do not share our views." Jason Benham added to that, "We were saddened to hear HGTV's decision. With all of the grotesque things that can be seen and heard on television today, you would think there would be room for two twin brothers who are faithful to our families, committed to biblical principles, and dedicated professionals. If our faith costs us a television show, then so be it." David and Jason, it is sad that the groups that have targeted you are using McCarthy-era tactics in an attempt to punish you for your opinions. Your values are American values, and if everyone in the world turns against you, you can rest assured that your alma mater will always have your back. I would like to invite the more than 30,000 people in this stadium to join me in applauding you to demonstrate our support for you and our admiration for the stand you have taken. tweeted this morning with the hashtag flip this decision, and you can find it at @LibertyU or at my Twitter account @Jerry Jr. Falwell. Please retweet it, and let's get the message to HGTV that it's not acceptable to punish people for their opinions and their beliefs. It's just not American. And this year's commencement, there's other examples of bigotry. This year's commencement speaker at the University of California at Berkeley is Nancy Pelosi. I heard the mother of a conservative graduate at UCal Berkeley interviewed by Rush Limbaugh this week. She said that she and her husband don't share Ms. Pelosi's beliefs, but they are planning no protests and intend to be respectful at the ceremony. Isn't it amazing how the people in our country who claim to be open-minded and committed to tolerance, diversity, and inclusiveness are the most bigoted and closed-minded and opposing views, especially conservative Christian views? While Liberty is a Christian university and all of our faculty are Christians committed to our doctrinal statement, we have always invited prominent speakers from all religious and political persuasions and from all walks of life to speak in convocation and even at commencement. We believe that you, our graduates, will be better equipped to defend your faith and your values because you have heard firsthand from leaders who have different theological and political beliefs. I believe that one reason our Liberty community, as well as conservative Christians in general, are more respectful and more willing to listen to those who have different viewpoints is because we are confident in what we believe. You see, if you fervently believe something and have confidence in your faith and in your worldview, you don't feel threatened by contrary opinions. On the other hand, if you are insecure in your beliefs or you don't really believe what you claim to believe, you are more likely to fear the expression of opposing views. I believe that's why the protesters at Rutgers were so afraid of Condoleezza Rice speaking at their school, and why the liberal watchdog group feared the Benham brothers having their own TV show. You, the class of 2014, are entering a world that is becoming increasingly hostile to your Christian values. I urge you, like the Benham brothers, to never compromise your faith or your values, regardless of the price you have to pay. From our university's inception, we have taken our faith and our patriotism seriously. Our name, Liberty, has both theological and patriotic implications. Each graduation year, our baccalaureate service emphasizes our faith, and this commencement service emphasizes our patriotism. During this commencement ceremony, we have always reminded you that it's far better and far easier to love God and to love others in a world that's free. We have reminded you that success and prosperity are worthy ambitions and that the free market is not an enemy of generosity, but a reason for it. Or as Ralph Waldo Emerson said, doing well is the result of doing good. In the parable of the talents, Jesus scolded the servant who didn't take risk in the marketplace and generate a return on his investment, calling him wicked and lazy. Jesus taught us that it is not good to not do well. At Liberty, we have prepared you for both, to do good and to do well. In America, it was our Judeo-Christian foundation that gave us the free market and that made us the most prosperous and generous nation in the history of the world. We believe in work and worship, in prayer and prosperity, in generosity and in responsibility. I like what William Penn, the devout Quaker and founder of Pennsylvania, said about the marriage of faith and the free market. Penn said, "I desire to extend religious freedom, yet I want some recompense for my troubles." This degree you'll soon receive today is an investment in your future, and as Jesus said, to whom much has been given, much shall be required. It's not getting your degree that's most important, it's what you'll do with it that matters. There are over 17,800 members of the class of 2014. There are more than 8,000 graduates this morning who will be awarded master's degrees. In today's ceremony, and 715 students will be awarded doctoral degrees, including 78 graduates from our School of Law. The class of 2014 includes 43 siblings, 31 pairs of parents graduating with their children, 8 sets of twins, and 132 husbands and wives who will celebrate their commencement together today. Congratulations to all of you. I'm also very proud to announce this morning that the 2014 graduating class includes 5,185 members of our nation's armed forces, hundreds of them on active duty. Would all the active duty military please stand? Liberty is proud to be one of our nation's most military-friendly universities with over 25,000 military students. Thank you for all you have sacrificed for your country and for all you are doing to preserve our freedom every day. This morning, we're also awarding 3 posthumous degrees. Sitting directly in front of me are the families of Sarah McCowan, Charles Nathan Davidson, and John Hallstrom. Nate Davidson, the recently deceased son of our seminary professor and longtime friend of my family, Dr. Charlie Davidson, will be awarded a degree in interdisciplinary studies. John Hallstrom, who lost a valiant fight against cancer in March, will be awarded a degree in interdisciplinary studies as well. And Sarah McCowan, who was a member of the marching band and the crew team and was a much-loved residential student on this campus for 5 years, will be honored with a degree in graphic design. To the families of Nathan, John, and Sarah, I confess that few of us can imagine the pain that you are experiencing, but you can rest assured that your Liberty family is praying for you together. With you, we thank God that your loved ones' lives were lived well, their legacy endures, and through our faith, we have comfort this morning that we do not grieve as those who have no hope. In the last few weeks alone, I've met a graduate from Nepal, another from Sierra Leone, a couple from 2 different parts of China who met here at Liberty and were married and plan to return to China together after graduation, and many others from all over the United States and the world. Our oldest graduates are Joy Barella, who is 81 years old, and Charles Carnes, who is 78. Our youngest college graduate earning his bachelor's degree today is Richard Arlen Green. He's only 17. But actually, he's only our youngest university graduate, but not our youngest participant this morning. There are 136 students who completed their high school education through Liberty University's online academy. They will receive their high school diplomas today as well. And I'd also like to give special recognition to those who will be graduating from Liberty University online today. In all, more than 85% of the class of 2014 are adults, average age 37, who completed their studies online. As part of Liberty's Christian mission, we started in 1985 to offer adult education. We have always sought to make Christian education as affordable and as accessible for as many individuals as possible. Liberty University Online is achieving this objective every day, making the dreams of tens of thousands of men and women come true. Those are your dreams. Each May, I receive dozens of messages from graduates who tell me their stories and express their gratitude for Liberty University. The common theme is always how many of them never could have obtained a college degree if not for Liberty University Online. Nearly every one of you can testify to how Liberty's integration of faith and education has prepared and inspired you. In fact, this is exactly what brought many of you here in the first place. From the very beginning, the vision for Liberty University was to create a university that would be for evangelical Christian young people what Notre Dame is for Catholic and what Brigham Young is for Mormon people, a world-class university. The vision wasn't to build only a Bible school, but to build a fully accredited liberal arts university that would train and send out a generation of men and women into culture as business persons, educators, doctors, nurses, lawyers, and athletes, graduates in every vocation to enter every sphere of society to become the salt of the earth and the light of the world. I'm especially excited to tell you that the first class of our new film school, the Zachy Gordon Center for Cinematic Arts, is graduating today. And Liberty's first class of 150 future medical doctors will be enrolled in our new College of Osteopathic Medicine this fall. God truly has blessed this university. We are literally rebuilding our campus, replacing each of the temporary structures that were built in the 1970s with world-class facilities. In January of this year, we dedicated the first of these new academic structures, the Jerry Falwell Library. This morning, we distributed copies of the Liberty Journal magazine that featured the new library to all of you, or as many of you as we had copies available for. I hope that you will take time to read the dedicatory speech in the first few pages of that journal, because I believe it will give you a clear understanding of Liberty University's unique history, its early struggles to survive and eventually prosper, and its mission and purpose. If you did not receive a copy, please read the journal on our website. I also hope our visitors today will take time to walk through the new library before leaving town. In order to show our gratitude to the class of 2014 for enduring all this construction over the last 2 years with a positive attitude, and in order to commemorate the class of 2014 as the first graduating class to occupy the new library, we're creating a special display in the library in honor of the class of 2014. You know, pure metallic lutetium is a rare earth metal. If you look at the periodic chart of elements, we've always thought it was curious that the atomic symbol for this element is Lu, and its atomic number is 71. So it's only been isolated in recent years, and it's one of the most difficult to prepare. It's like Liberty, it's rare. But what our purchasing vice president, Jamie Hall, well, I'll tell you a little bit about the metal. It's silvery white, relatively stable. It's perhaps the most expensive of all the rare elements. It's found in small amounts, very difficult to separate from other elements, but it was very difficult for our own Jamie Hill, but he was able to obtain a 1 kilo bar of lutetium engraved with Liberty's name. It's over here to my left, and it'll be permanently displayed in the Jerry Falwell Library in honor of you, the class of 2014.